the past week, I have been driving this 2026 Ram 1500 Bighorn. And this is equipped with the 5.7 liter Hemi V8 that makes a return after a brief 1-year hiatus. Base price for the Ram 1500 Bighorn is just over $52,000, and as equipped shown here is just over $66,000. This is chocked full of options, and if you haven't noticed already, is equipped with the Night Edition package, which looks very sharp, as those blacked out wheels, the body colored front and rear bumpers. This is finished in forged blue metallic, and honestly, it's probably one of my favorite paint colors on a truck. Some longtime followers of the channel may remember I actually owned a 2019 Ram 1500 Bighorn Sport that I loved, but honestly, I'm not a truck guy. I didn't use it for truck things, so I sold it and got a car. But if you're new here, I spent a week living with each car, driving it to work, running errands, and seeing how it handles day-to-day life. I still have a regular 9-to-5 job, so this is actually how I get a true sense of what it's like to own and use a vehicle from day to day. Starting out with the exterior here, obviously we already know the color, but these wheels look absolutely sharp. Tire size is 275/55 R20, and it's wrapped in Bridgestone Dueler HL Lenza tires. Now, I believe the only way you can tell a Ram comes with a Hemi nowadays is this badge right here. They call this the symbol of protest badge. Kind of cringe, whatever. Moving to the back here, this is equipped with a very nice bed step. I believe this is an option. You just push your foot out with that, and you can easily access the bed up here. You can also easily push it back like that just by giving it a good old kick. And then you can actually open the tailgate with the key fob. Just press this button twice, and on the second one, hold it, and it will pop open the tailgate. This does come with an optional tonneau cover and a spray-in bed liner here. Very nice. It is illuminated as well. This is a short bed. I believe it's only 5.5 foot. Got a 400-watt outlet over here on the side. Now, there is a pretty large range in payload capacities and towing capacities. You have to have like certain towing packages and things, but the average payload capacity for the Ram is about 1,500 pounds, and you can tow between 8,000 and 11,000 pounds. This, as equipped, I believe can tow just over 8,000 pounds. You need like the 392 rear axle to tow that 11,000 number. So something like the Ford F-150 or Chevy Silverado will tow a little bit more than this. But this also has coil springs on the back instead of leaf springs, and that gives it the more car-like ride that you will not see in the Ford F-150 and Chevy Silverado. So it's a little bit of a trade-off there. Now, as you may have heard in the intro, this is equipped with a performance exhaust that you get standard when you opt for the Hemi. So we'll go ahead and start it up real quick. This does come with remote start. It sounds really good. It's really loud in the mornings too. Actually, just a perfect exhaust note. It's not even that loud inside. It doesn't drone at all. We'll get to the driving impressions as we go along the way, but listen to that V8. Speaking of V8, let's go ahead and check out what's under the hood, which we already know what's under the hood, but let's open it up and check it out anyways. Under the hood is that familiar 5.7 liter V8, making 395 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque. It is assisted by a 48-volt mild hybrid system called eTorque that actually provides 130 pound-feet of torque at launch. I really haven't noticed a huge difference compared to my regular Ram 1500 that I used to own. It is nice to have this option back, even though the Hurricane is a far superior engine than this here. But if the V8 sound is what you want, you have it back for 2026 and probably beyond. So the 3.6 liter V6, though, old Pentastar, is the standard engine in the Ram 1500. Then the Hurricane is actually the next step up, and then a Hemi is the next step up from that as a $3,000 option. And in addition to that performance exhaust, you also get a 33-gallon fuel tank as well for plenty of range. This is mated to the legendary ZF 8-speed transmission. I absolutely love this transmission. A lot of other journalists and customers love this transmission as well. It's a legend in the truck world. It's reliable, it shifts perfectly. I've never seen any major issues with this transmission at all. Fuel economy for this exact model here with the Hemi is 16 miles a gallon in the city, 20 miles a gallon on the highway, and 18 miles a gallon combined. And new for 2026, Ram decided to up the warranty on this engine to 10-year, 100,000 miles as well. So that actually beats out the competitors, including Toyota. So that is something to consider. It's nice that they give you hood struts as well. Obviously, you do have LED headlights and fog lights as well, parking sensors Let's go ahead and check out the back seat here. This is the crew cab, and you do have a ton of space back here, and you can even fold these seats up and, you know, slide in whatever you want back here. Completely flat load floor as well. Then underneath of the floor mat back here, you actually get a toolbox to put some stuff. I stowed a lot of my roadside assistance stuff when I had my Ram, and there's even a ruler in centimeters and inches on, you know, the size of this box. Plenty of storage in the doors as well. Let's go ahead and climb in. Driver's seat set to my position. Once again, plenty of leg room and plenty of headroom as well. Flip the camera around here, you can kind of see nice little cutout here, not bonking my head. You also get a power sliding rear window with rear window defrost as well. Coming back, spinning around, mat pockets in each of the seats, a couple vents, USB-A and USB-C ports, and another 400-watt outlet to charge your laptops or some tools or something like that. Really a nice place to be. I've taken my family on a road trip and they have zero issues with the comfort of this vehicle. And back when I had my Ram, which is actually not much different than this, it is still just as comfortable as ever. Let's go ahead and check out the front seat here. No smart key access on all the doors, which kind of stinks for the $66,000 price point. So you have to still use the key to, you know, the keyless entry to lock and unlock the vehicle. This is equipped with a Bighorn customer preferred package. It's like a $3,000 option that adds a whole bunch of things we'll take a look at here shortly. Power windows, power locks, power mirrors, power folding mirrors. Once again, ton of storage in the door. You have a power adjustable front seat. That's part of that customer preferred package. Power lumbar as well. These seats are super comfortable for longer trips. You can kind of see it does have power adjustable pedals as well. Manual tilt and telescoping steering wheel, push button ignition. It sounds really, really good. I love that. I love that they put the performance exhaust on these things now. Physical gauges, look at that, guys. I love seeing physical gauges and not a screen. I believe you can get the screen as an option, but I just love seeing these physical gauges. You do have a screen in the middle that has a bunch of different information, trailer tow. It's got an integrated trailer brake controller down here. Audio, I mean, I could bore you with all the stuff that you can find in here, but we'll actually go ahead and take a look at the trip. I have driven this 328 miles, have almost 9 hours of seat time, and have averaged about 17.7 miles a gallon. So not too bad at all. It's about what I averaged in my non-eTorque 2019 Ram 1500 with the Hemi, and yeah, hasn't really changed. Not as fuel efficient as some competitors, but it does have a very nice exhaust note. And on the steering wheel here, on the left, that's how you control the menus on the center gauge cluster, and on the right is your adaptive cruise control and regular cruise control controls. You do have some drive modes here. You got off-road, sport, tow, snow on auto. I've just been keeping it on auto. My Ram did not have any of these drive modes over here. I think drive modes are a gimmick anyways. I actually put a poll on my YouTube community page, and most of you guys think drive modes are gimmicks as well. Then over here is how you can manually control what gear you want to be in. Then coming to the center here, you see this massive 12-inch infotainment. That's part of that customer preferred package I was talking about earlier. It adds dual zone climate control as well. It does come with a reverse camera that is actually pretty decent quality. Wish it came with 360 reverse camera for $66,000. Wireless Android Auto, wireless CarPlay. I use wired, as you guys know, just because I'm in and out of cars all the time. I have had some connectivity issues this week. CarPlay would just keep freezing. I narrowed it down. It was not my phone, and I had to hard reset this infotainment while driving and just press and hold this button here until it turns off and turns back on, and it just works fine. I've had to do that twice in 1 week, so a little bit of a bummer there that I've had some issues. I usually don't have too many issues with this Uconnect system, but this one seems to be a little bit buggy. There's a ton of different options you can mess around with. This is also how you can control the heated front seats and heated steering wheel, all 3 stages here. You no longer have the physical controls for that. Add some towing and trailer configurations. This does have built-in navigation as well, a whole bunch of apps that you can choose from. This also is equipped with an Alpine sound system. It sounds really good. I would rate it a solid B-tier sound system, definitely adequate for the price. Once again, coming down through here is your integrated trailer brake controller, your parking sensors, traction control, There's a couple USB-C ports, a couple USB-A ports, and an auxiliary port. Got a wireless charger down here, a couple cup holders, and this center console kind of moves out of the way to reveal another 400 watt outlet, some storage under here, and a giant cavernous space. You can actually fit 2 1-gallon jugs of milk in this space, which is pretty impressive and probably the most American thing I've ever said. A couple cup holders here, a change holder, more storage, even more storage, even more storage, more storage, and more storage, and more storage, and a 12-volt outlet, auto-dimming rear view mirror, more storage, garage home link as well, and an illuminated visor mirror. Overall, I really like this interior. It's not much different than my 2019 Ram 1500. No squeaks, no rattles. The quality in here is very good, up to par for 2026. And yeah, it's a bit dated, obviously, but I think it's still holding up to the test of time. But let's go ahead, put this thing in drive, and see what it's like on the road. Right off the bat, just going over the bridge here and this railroad track at speed, it is one of the best riding trucks in the class. I mean, that's why I bought my 2019 Ram 1500 years ago. Is just the car-like ride this thing has. Really sells it. And like I said earlier, you're kind of limited on what you can tow and haul because of that. But if comfort is something that you're looking for, the Rams definitely deliver. It is nice and quiet at speed. We'll get on a highway here pretty soon as well. Handles reasonably well too for a truck. Good steering feel. No dead on center feel. No loose steering. Feels really good. It's crazy how far trucks have come. I mean, you know, I remember driving 90s Silverados and stuff and feel like the whole front end was loose. There's times where there's little wallers in the road where you get thrashed around in the cabin a bit. I mean, it's due to the truck nature, but I could listen to this V8 all day long. Personally, I think I'd prefer the Hurricane. I mean, I do love the sound of a V8, but I mean, the Hurricane is just a far superior engine. I'm sure I'll get cooked in the comments on that. All right, let's see how she does accelerating on the highway. I'm just going to leave it in the normal drive mode. Drive modes are useless to me. Let's floor it here. I love that 8-speed transmission too. I mean, it shifts perfectly, always has. Even at speed, if you need to, you know, pick up past somebody, I mean, downshifts very quickly. Here on the highway, adaptive cruise control and regular cruise control can be easily set as demonstrated earlier. Just hit this button here, set, bam. Control the following distance. Love that. Or if I don't want to use regular cruise or adaptive cruise, I can use regular here. And just like that, we're good to go. Now this Ram also does have cylinder deactivation, and when you see the little eco indicator pop up on the left side, you'll hear the engine go into V4 mode. And it's a little bit more evident with the exhaust system, but it's not obtrusive. It does sound a little funny with the exhaust from the outside. The old trick of defeating it is still a thing. I used to do this on my 2019 Ram. You just hit these buttons here to manually shift and then put it in 8th gear, and it gets rid of MDS. Infotainment is, you know, a little bit far out of the reach, and you do have to kind of, you know, dig for certain things like your heated seat. If you want to do that, you can have to press a button, you know, a button on the screen, but I wish they kept the physical controls for that. One thing I do like about Ram is they give you the ability to turn that screen off in the center, which is super nice because that is really, really bright at night and super distracting. It's the only thing I hate about these tablets and stuff in the vehicles is you can't see jack at night. Really nice ergonomics besides the center screen there. I mean, everything's within an arm's reach here. Really nice positions to rest your arm at both sides of the steering wheel as well. Good visibility, blind spot monitoring, blind spot mirrors. All right, let's give her the beans again. The brakes here feel a little bit weird compared to my 2019 Ram I had. You know, since this is a mild hybrid, it does feel like there's a little bit of regen in the brake pedal, you know, to kind of help slow the truck down. But you can't modulate it. It's like an on-off switch. So it gets a little bit jerky in traffic when you're trying to modulate the brake to slow down gradually. You really can't, because you know that first bit of pedal just is the maximum amount of regen, and you know it's just funky. It's really funky. The brakes themselves stop the truck and feel good. I mean, there's not a shortage of braking power. It's just the linearity of the pedal is not that great. Let's go ahead and do a quick 0 to 60. Come to a complete stop and floor it. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I think this is equipped with the 327 rear gears. So it would be a little quicker with a different gear set, probably the towing package as well. But it's adequate. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about the 2026 Ram 1500. If you're excited that the Hemi has made a return, it's nice to have this engine back as an option for people that want it. I really don't think they should have ever gotten rid of it. Man, this thing, it handles so good. It's crazy that trucks can do this now. Remember trucks handling like bowls of oatmeal back in the day. I mean, body roll for days, you'd feel like you flip over going around curves like this. Really like this rotary shifter here. I know a lot of people just hate on it, but it's honestly really nice once you get used to it. Still do miss our traditional column shifter, but this is nice. All right, guys, I think that's going to be it for the review on the 2026 Ram 1500 Bighorn. Let me know what you guys would pick. If you would pick the Hurricane over this or the Hemi. I'd be curious to hear your guys' thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what you've seen, please be sure to subscribe as well. I publish reviews pretty often. Once again, I do have a 9-to-5 job, so I kind of get to this when I can, and I really appreciate all your guys' support. Thank you so much for watching. Shout out to Stellantis for providing this vehicle for me to film this week. And yeah, we'll go ahead and see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.